Hey everybody, it's Miss Krishnan. I'm finally figuring out this YouTube thing, so that's a celebration. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So, on top of all the different resources that CCSD has posted and that I'm going to be posting for you guys, here's just some little activities that you guys can work on. So in my class, we do a lot of novel studies / text studies. So the first thing I'm going to ask you guys to do is download this article and post in the link below. The title is an overview of U.S. westward expansion. The text level that I'm using is 990 Lexile, so that is right here. You can change the Lexile level based on what grade level your kiddo is in. These lessons are more geared towards 3rd through 5th grade. And for my 5th graders, I usually go above one text level, so this is like a 6th grade level. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So the way I plan on formatting these lessons is each day it's going to be a different activity that we're going to do with the same text. Now, if you can't print this out, that is okay. You can always pull up the PDF and do it digitally as well. But if you're able to print it out, it's definitely a lot easier. But if you can't, then that's okay. So, first day, it says we're going to be doing just vocabulary. Okay, and then the second day, we'll be annotating using the depth and complexity icons. If you don't know what those are, don't worry, I'll review it. Day 3 is going to be working on quoting from the text and then making inferences on day 4. And then day 5, I'll give you guys a quiz. So, let's get started. This is going to be a quick video because I'm still trying to figure out how to do this thing, so bear with me, okay? So, the one thing that you're going to want to make sure that you have is something to highlight with and a pencil, okay? I always tell my kids, get your highlighting tool out and your pencils. I'm going to go ahead and start with just my highlighter, and I'm going to use pink first, if I can open it. Okay, so what I'm going to have you guys first do, all by yourself, is you are going to read this entire passage. Got printed out of order. You're going to read this entire passage on your own. Parents, if you want to read this with your kids, that is fine, but I strongly encourage you to make them be responsible and have them try it all on their own. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just read through this first section, this first page right here, and using my highlighter, I'm going to highlight words that I'm not familiar with, or better yet, the words that I think maybe some of you guys might not be 100% familiar with yet. Okay, get comfortable. Teaching from my bedroom is very interesting. Okay, so I'm going to model what this is going to look like. In 1803, President Thomas Jefferson purchased the territory, I'm going to highlight that one, of Louisiana from the French government for $15 million. That's a lot of money. Known as the Louisiana Purchase, this new territory stretched from the Mississippi River west to the Rocky Mountains, and from Canada south to New Orleans and the Gulf of Mexico. Gulf. Not like golf, it's Gulf, G-U-L-F. I'm going to highlight that one because I think I might have some students that have a question about that one. Altogether, it doubled the size of the young United States. So, just a quick side note for you guys. As you may already know, or maybe you don't, the United States did not always look the way it did. So, right now, it's split up into 50 different states. It used to just be like large areas of land, or in this case, territory. And so, at the very beginning of when things got started in the United States, they started separating them into states, but that didn't happen right away. So, basically, when Jefferson purchased the Louisiana territory, it was like a large chunk of the United States. So basically a bunch of states in one area. I hope that makes sense. And if you have questions, leave a comment, or if you're in my class, you can always contact me on Google Classroom. Okay. Second section. To Jefferson, adding new land to the original eastern and southern states was vitally important. Vitally is an interesting word. I'm going to highlight that one now. To be able to expand, the United States had to lay claim to land out west. The movement of settlers, don't know what that means, into these territories soon became known as Westward Expansion. I think that would be an important one to highlight. Westward Expansion. Jefferson believed that owning land, especially farming land, was the key to independence and freedom. A man who owned land did not need to work for anyone else. Jefferson felt strongly that to provide enough land for all of its citizens, the United States would have to continue to expand. I'm going to highlight expand. So this is just the first page, but you'll see that I didn't over highlight. I just highlighted words that I wasn't really sure what they meant. So I'm just going to show you what the next step is, even though I haven't gone through the entire passage yet. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is you're going to use some index cards. If you don't have index cards, you can use any paper that you have available and just cut them into equal size pieces and make flashcards. So looking at the words that I highlighted, I'm going to be making flashcards. The first one I'm going to do is territory. That's the first word that I highlighted. So I'm going to get my index card, going to use my highlighting tool or marker or pencil, whatever you want, and I'm going to write down the word on the blank side. Territory. Okay. I don't have cute teacher handwriting, but that's okay. All right, so after I write down the word, there's two things I'm going to ask you guys to do. One, you're going to use the website dictionary.com, or if you have a dictionary like laying around, like an actual real dictionary, you can use that too. Dictionary.com is a little bit faster, so I recommend to use that. On the back of your index card, you're going to draw a line right down the middle. Let me do that with my marker so you can see. Okay, so it's almost like a little T-chart. On one side, you're going to write down at the very top, definition, and then on the other side, it's going to be example. Okay, so it's going to look like that, definition, example. So on the side where it says definition, you're going to write down what the word means. Okay. So I would write down the definition. Okay, and then for the example, there's two things that you're going to do. You're going to write a sentence using the word. And you want to make sure that you underline the word, the vocab word that you wrote down. Always want to underline it. And then the next thing you can do, kids always like to draw, so you can draw a picture of what the word means. And I always encourage my students that are in my class, if you're going to draw a picture, add labels. So, little words with arrows pointing to certain parts of your picture so that you can go back and understand what you were doing. Because sometimes when you're, drawing a picture to help you understand your learning, you might forget what you were, doing at that time. So labels help. So I didn't write out the actual definition because I want the kids to do that. But I wrote down you need to write a sentence inside, write a sentence using the word. Sorry, it's hard to read backwards. And then draw a picture of what the word means. Okay? And then you have your word territory. So what you guys are going to do is you will be reading the whole article on your own. It is about 3 pages long. You're going to highlight the words. You're going to make them into flashcards. And then you want to make sure that you complete all the steps to make sure your vocabulary is done. And that's all that I'm going to ask you to do for this first day. So for those of you that aren't able to print this out, if you have paper available to you, instead of going through and highlighting the words, since it will be hard to do that on a computer, unless you have certain software where you can actually use a highlighting tool, you can use your paper and write down all the words that you do not know, and then go back and just do the same activity. I want you guys to make the flashcards so that way you can study them. And what's really nice is once you know what these words mean, It's going to make the rest of this article a lot easier. Okay? So if you have any questions, please contact me on Google Classroom. That is all I'm going to have for today. I will be posting a read aloud later on. I'm going to be reading... Where's my book at? I have it somewhere. But I'm going to be reading the first Harry Potter book. I'm going to read the first chapter. Oh, here it is. Silly me. Okay, so I'll be reading the Sorcerer's Stone. If you want to join in, you can. And if not, that is okay as well. But thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that this helps you out, and I will be posting again tomorrow. Okay, bye.